Success isn't a map you can follow. It starts with a spark of curiosity for the unknown, dedication for the unlearned, and innovation to pave the way for the next generation of leaders. These are the makings of our entrepreneurs who are redefining this industry by bringing the real in real estate. Real people, real experiences, real excellence. Welcome to the Real Relentless Podcast by C21 Tri-Cities, a real estate brokerage in Eastern Washington. On this episode, we're joined by Maurice Kirby and Josue Arteaga. Our topic today is motivation. What pushes us forward? On the same hand, how do we power through rejection? Gentlemen, please introduce yourselves.
Well, my name is Maurice Kirby. I'm a real estate agent out here at C21 Tri-Cities, and I got my boy Josue Arteaga.
Yep, what's up, guys? So my name is Josue Arteaga. I've been doing PR or publicist for 4 years, and this is my homie Maurice. And so today we're going to talk about motivation, excellence, what it takes to be, top of the field.
And kind of creating a team and like a base around you, like a support system. So, yeah, 100%. So, I love to be out here. I love to be in Tri-Cities. It's a great opportunity for people to, kind of grow themselves from a young age. Like I see a lot of young, entrepreneurs out here kind of being successful. A lot of my clients are from the 22 to 25-year-old range, and they're buying homes and, getting pre-approved. And it's motivating for me, being a renter right now as a real estate agent, putting people in homes, watching them get in homes. It's really motivating for me on this side. And honestly, Josue here, he's honestly been on the buying hand side as well, and kind of switch over to the investing side. So
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to ask you, why did you do that? To be honest.
Switch over?
Yeah.
Well, it's actually during our experience wherein remember I was looking for homes and stuff, and then we went to go look at that duplex.
Mm-hmm.
And so the loan officer that you introduced me to, he kind of was guiding me and telling me, like, you buy a duplex, the others half of it could count as your income.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're applying for a house. So I kind of started as like, oh wow, like, you could buy a bigger piece of a real estate property without having to do anything else.
Yeah.
And so that was really cool. And so it was like, because of you, you inspired me to kind of switch over and look more into investing into real estate and stuff. And then I seen you grow since you first got, a little after you got your license, I met you. And so I've seen you progress from like being brand new. Like, I remember on Instagram, you met that guy from Seattle. I forgot his name, but he's a really cool realtor. And the questions you were asking him to now, you're like on it every day. I'm seeing on Instagram, just talking to you, helping so many people. And so, yeah, the switch from the investing side was inspired by you and a few other people that you introduced me to, like Carlos, actually.
Awesome.
Yeah, this is your man right here.
That's awesome.
How did you both get started in your respective careers?
Yeah, so I'm originally from California, Santa Barbara area, and my best friend was like the third grade. Went to the University of Washington, and then we get signed to the Seahawks, and I kind of did what kind of Josue did. I was like his publicist, and kind of helped put his name out there, and verified him on Instagram, those type of things. And when he went over to the Packers, his I was in Seattle by myself, and I didn't really see nothing for me in Seattle, to be honest. And I got into real estate. My investor back home, because I do events, like celebrity events. So like I would do concerts from reggae, country, rap, hip hop, the whole nine. And my investor was a real estate agent, younger than me. And when I saw that and saw the money that was coming in and saw how he was helping people on the daily at such a young age, it kind of inspired me to go and get my license here in Washington. And when I, had mutual friends here in Tri-Cities, and I came over here and I saw the growth and how it was growing, it reminded me of kind of back home when it was growing home. And I just knew it was probably a great market here. And, I kept seeing all the C21 buses everywhere, and, I would drive to the top of the hill and see the polished homes and go on YouTube and see C21, YouTubes and stuff. And, you would see the agents here in the office now that I'm here with, and you would see their faces all over the place. And, you know, it was just like, like, you know, you just wanted to be a part of that. So, you know, I kind of dug deep and got my license, you know, during COVID. And, you know, I kind of was stuck in the house and, you know, was kind of watching $1 million listings, just getting motivated, just kind of, you know, going through it. And sure enough, you know, I passed, got my license, and just hit the ground running.
Our topic is about motivation. So can you share some ways that you found successful in staying motivated?
I say just daily affirmations and just knowing your why and knowing why you're kind of doing it. You know, I think some people, you know, get too comfortable and where they're at in life, and, you know, sometimes you got to put yourself in uncomfortable positions so you can, you know, step up to the next bar. So I think my motivation is, honestly, you know, I don't have any family around me. You know, I meet new people every single day. So I think that kind of motivates me, because I do feel a little bit uncomfortable. You know, I do kind of miss having the family and friends around me all daily, but I think it motivates me day in and day out to, you know, buy property and, you know, have a home here and, yeah, kind of grow my success if I can.
Mm-hmm. Well, for sure, people like Maurice, I mean, when I first met you, you're like kind of green in the game, and then you rose and you got up there very quickly. I feel like you've been able to do something, figure out the game that takes, you know, other people 3 years to figure out. You figured it out very quickly within like a few months.
Thank you.
And so kind of seeing that's inspiring to me. And then I have other things that inspire me too, like, you know, I think one thing we share is, like, you know, Drake lyrics or his music, you know. I feel like we're both very inspired. I know I'm heavily inspired by that. I always, like, if Drake says, I think in the new song, he was like, you know, I have a bunch of cars in my garage and none of them is a Dodge. And I was like, oh, can't buy a Dodge anymore.
Yeah,
Can't buy, you know,
yeah.
Gotta go even higher, you know. But, yeah, and then seeing people like you introduce me, like Carlos. I know you're with Jordan a lot. You know, you guys are, you know, oh, you're the top buyer's agent this week, right? Yeah, congrats. Look, see?
Thank you,
stuff like that is, like, very inspiring to see, you know, people that, you know, come from different places, from all over, and just find a way, hustle their way into, because you didn't know anyone. And now, look, like, you're associated, hanging out, rubbing shoulders with, like, some of the most, you know, I would say, dominant, you know, on top of their game realtors, people investing in real estate in Tri-Cities. And I've been here for 3 years and I didn't even know anybody in that game, you know. Then I met you and it was like all of a sudden I knew like 5, 6, 7 people. And so seeing things like that inspire me. And definitely when I see you post those listings and stuff, I'm like, dang, I want to buy that, but you know, I'm more focused on the investment side. So
yeah, we'll get there.
Yep.
That's great.
For those of you who don't know Maurice, he's essentially fearless. Have you always been this way?
I think it's just where I'm from. You know, I think just we talk. You know, I door knocked when I was in Seattle. You know, and I sold, you know, fiber optics. So I think I just brought that, you know, to me. I had a mentor. His name's Dorian Pierce, and he kind of have these 8 steps that I read. And it's on my phone right here. It's my wallpaper. And, you know, I go through those 8 steps and kind of reminds me of what I have to do to be successful in life and where I want to know. And I think it just goes back to knowing your why. So why do I have the audacity to go walk up to somebody's door and sell them real estate? It's because I know where I want to go in life. And like you said, like he said, I don't know anybody from here. I'm not, you know, I'm trying to grow my name and I'm trying to meet people every single day. So by doing that, I'm just doing as I know. And, you know, I kind of always been around that door knocking, whether it was bus calling with my family back when I was younger, or, you know, it was, you know, door knocking, you know, selling fiber optics, and now I was doing, you know, real estate, you know. And I think now that I'm selling real estate, I've, you know, sold concert tickets, you know, clothing, you know, anything I can so I could, you know, get successful in life and be great. And now that I'm selling real estate, I just feel it's the biggest purchase you can make in life. You know, there's nothing bigger than real estate, to be honest, to buy. You know, maybe you can buy a yacht, but it's, you know, still not bigger than real estate. So I feel blessed to be in this position right now, and I do feel like it's a great opportunity to, you know, grow yourself, to get into it. I talk to a lot of people every day, and whether I ask them, oh, why don't you get into real estate? Have you thought about it? A lot of people have. They just haven't made the jump. And I was blessed to meet people along the way to kind of help me stay motivated to get to this point. But I feel like what I've done prior in life has built me for real estate. I like, this check-to-check commission thing, like that's normal. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a normal thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, especially when you're an entrepreneur, at such a young age. So like, I feel like now it's like I'm a lot more stable than I was at any time. I don't know what people are talking about. So yeah.
And what about you? Have you always thought that you wanted to be a publicist?
He was on a team. He had a team. Like he's humble about it, but like he had a team. Like, tell him about it.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll start from the beginning. I mean, since I was like in the 5th grade, I knew I wanted to be in business, and I guess I got pretty lucky because I had a good teacher who like made us play Monopoly and stuff, and he would always just like boost my confidence because he was like, you're so good at this game, and I think I ended up being like the richest kid in the Monopoly game in my classroom because it was like a year-long game. It wasn't just like a one-day thing. Yeah. And so his name was Mr. Peacock. Shout out Mr. Peacock. You ever see this? But yeah, you inspired me. And so ever since then, I always kind of had an eye for like business and stuff. And then I really started diving deep into business once I turned 16 and I was like on the internet. Because you look up something like how to make money online and then you get targeted by a bunch of ads on like all these people selling you courses and everything. So I kind of fell for that for a little bit, and I was looking up all these ways people make money online and everything. And so then I stumbled upon like magazines and articles, and I felt like, well, this is really cool. It's like a lot of people were posting in front of like Ferraris, getting featured on these magazines and stuff. And I was like, I want to be around that crowd. And so then I got, started in that. And I didn't know at first, the value of like being published in a magazine until I got really good at it. And then people started hitting me up and they were like, I'll pay you X amount of dollars for this or X amount of dollars for that. And it was like more money than I ever made 3 months working at a warehouse, in Grandview. So I was like, no, we got to do this. And I also had a best friend, Ulysses, which and he was also right there with me, like kind of a similar path we were taking in life, and we ended up becoming best friends. And what I liked about him was just how dedicated he was at like his craft and working. And I always try to stick around people who are like obsessed with what they're doing. And that's what I like about you, because you went into being a realtor and then like you just focused on it, like laser focus, and that's what I want to like rub off on me and hopefully rub off on other people.
That's great.
And so, with that laser focus, kind of good timing of like, the internet kind of booming and that personal brand stuff coming up, a lot of people wanted to be featured on, magazines. And so the business grew from just me and my friend to us and a couple virtual assistants, and then from there to, learning, investing, and learning how companies grow.
What are some of the magazines and like websites you kind of worked with these clients that are, hitting you up, daily?
Yeah. So, well, pretty much any business magazine. So like Forbes, Entrepreneur. I'm a writer for Entrepreneur. There's a Influencer, Bloomberg, Business.com. There's just, there's like 20 really good ones. Yahoo Finance, another one.
Nice.
So getting clients on all of those. And those are very prestigious publications, which are very hard to get on. It's all about connections. So once I spent like, 4 years building that up, then after that, it's kind of like a high tier, package when you offer that to an entrepreneur who's doing, 6-7 figures. It's like, to these magazines, their clientele is like 7, 8, 9 figure entrepreneurs. So if you want to get on here, you got to have connections. It's kind of like an exclusive party everyone's trying to get into.
100%.
And so I try to use that to get into, different areas, I would say, like real estate, I'm a big believer in helping other people out, and then all relationships work best when we can help each other.
100%.
Yeah, and so I try to use that. I stick around with people that I love what they're doing, I believe in what they're doing, and I try to help them. Like with you, I want to get you on some places and stuff. Do some work together, and I don't feel like there's any realtors that are kind of big on that, so I feel like that's a great opportunity to be like the first one
to grasp.
Grab, be the first one, because any company that's on time and the first, or any entrepreneur, this always ends up being like the biggest, or has the biggest chance of success.
There's others who innovate, and they kind of narrow through it, and they'll become successful, become competitors. But in the first one that does it, they'll make a run, and whether they keep the company or whatever, they keep themselves or sell it later, they'll make some profit.
Yeah, I feel like they'll be the biggest buzz because they're the first one,
Yeah.
And so it's cool.
Yeah, 100%.
Can you share a few examples of when you faced rejection and how that has shaped the direction of the path that you are on now?
I feel, like I've been trying to be on the same path to where I'm going now, to get to where I'm at now since 2014. And that's like 7 years from now, whether it was, kind of being a publicist or writing for somebody who was on billboards, or, trying to, get rich off of throwing events and, becoming unsuccessful, and, having, somebody from a UGA, call you and kind of, cancel your whole event. Those are failures to me that kind of like hit you in the gut because, you wanted to do it for, your city, your town. So being unsuccessful kind of helped me narrow and build through where I'm at now, and kind of be everything was just, I was 18, I was young, and I was doing, kind of, bigger things, with celebrities, and like I didn't really know how valuable my knowledge was, or how valuable what I was doing was. I didn't get anything in writing, so like now that in real estate, it's like if it's not in writing, it doesn't exist. So like whether those people are best friends with you or not, I kind of learned that through the business, and failures is, through whether we did good or, the money situation fell through on my side. Like I just realized that it built me from now, and like now I know how to not slip up. 100%. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like talking about rejection, I mean, there was one time where I was 19 and I tried buying a house, but because I didn't know anything about like taxes and stuff, I got rejected, and I wasn't able to get a house or anything. And so I feel like that was one of the big moments where it's like, wow, I'm doing a lot of things that I felt were right, but then, there's so much more that I don't know. And that kind of was like, well, what do I need to do to get to that level where like, I could get a house and stuff. And when you're self-employed, it's a little bit different because you tend to write off everything. So you don't, spend a lot in taxes, but then it turns out it, bites you in the butt, because then they're like, dude, you don't even make a lot. You have all these expenses, and you're like, oh, snap, I shouldn't have done that. And so it's kind of like you got to have some pain and gain. And yeah, I've been rejected plenty times. Like at 18 too, was rejected numerous times when I was trying to. There's actually this one time where I went to New York because we were gonna meet this client with Yuli, and he was the one who told us like, come out, meet us. We want to talk to you. You guys are young, killing it. And we went to New York, and he had like this office and big office and everything. And then when we got there, he was like, he didn't even know us. Like, he didn't even care we were there, So that was kind of like a big rejection. It was kind of like, wow, I'm not, I don't know. For me, I kind of took it as like, I'm not important enough for their attention, for them to give me that time of day. And so that was like another rejection that I feel like, 18 could have been age, could have been inexperience, whatever it was. And so those kind of things, I feel like if you learn from them, it's a good thing. But if you just dwell on it, let anger build inside of you, then that's where it just becomes toxic for yourself, and you don't progress. You just stay trapped mentally.
And I think a way how I'm able to bounce back off a rejection is because I do door knocking. I was kind of trained to when you knock at somebody's house who doesn't agree with what you're selling or you, and they kind of slam the door in your face and kind of tell you, go away type thing, and it's happened. Daily it happens. But you go to the next door, and they're the nicest people ever, and then you stick a sign in their yard and sell their house right next to the guy who just was mean. So it's just, there's ways to kind of bounce back and to stay motivated through rejection. I think I kind of have, that kind of no fear when it comes to rejection. Or yeah.
Sometimes when people first think of real estate, they don't think of collaborations, but you seem to be breaking that mold in a way.
I mean, it's everything. I'm happy I made the decision to join C21 and be around the agents I'm around, who just are like-minded, same age length, and just killing it, and kind of collaborating and feeding off of each other is the best way to be successful, I say. I was able to job shadow Jordan Barnhill. I was able to call Christian Carmen at 1 o'clock in the morning when I'm writing up an offer, and collaborating with agents like that kind of help you, not help you, but mold you, to become rock solid, to kind of jump off the cliff and do it your own. And that's kind of how I think I'm 6 months in, and I'm, doing pretty good right now.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely am huge on collaboration. I mean, we're collaborating right now, and with the podcast too, and so it would be so dumb for someone to try to do everything themselves. Like, imagine you were your own publicist and then your own podcast guy, and a realtor. That would be kind of extending yourself too much, And so, like me, I don't know much about real estate except for like what I see on YouTube and maybe what I study here and there. But I know I can rely on people like you to, show me the way, or, connect me to someone else who does know what we're trying to figure out. So collaboration in a big sense is like, the saying goes, 2 heads better than one. And
even here at Century 21, there's like such a collaboration in a team that's like, it's honestly perfect. Like for somebody like me who's like wants to just do real estate, I can just focus on real estate 100% of the time. I have a listings department, a graphics department, a marketing team, broker, the whole nine. So I just I'm able to I don't have to do all that, stuff, I'm able to just laser in, and that's why collaboration is everything. And I feel like agents who are out there on the island kind of doing everything by themselves don't get as much activity at all. They don't. So, yeah.
I kind of been in that situation in the beginning where I was doing everything, and it's just like a rat race, because you wake up, you're doing sales, you're doing marketing, you're doing fulfillment, you're doing then your normal stuff, like for example, like car stuff, like getting an oil change. You're doing all these like family stuff, everything, and that's just too hectic. When you have a team, you focus on what you're good at and you move forward.
Exactly.
Yeah, you progress a lot better. So, yep, love it.
100%.
When you see other people in our community trying to get their businesses off the ground, what kind of advice would you give them to stay motivated?
I say learn from the rejection, collaborate with like-minded people, and stay positive, and create a why if you don't have one. Figure out why you're doing this every day. And if you don't know why you're doing this every day, maybe this isn't for you. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if you find your why, if you have your why, wake up every day and remember why. You're doing it, and then you'll be fine. That's really my motivation, my gas. My electricity, is your why. So yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, to have thick skin, I mean, it's built up over time, but I feel like the difference between quitting the first day and never quitting is just kind of understanding from, I mean, even a little bit before, like when you made that decision to become a realtor and started studying, there was something that was pushing you. And so for me, that's always been like family.
Yeah.
Like, I always wanted to see my parents do better. They came to the United States to give us a better life. So now it's kind of like I take it upon myself every day to improve on me, to give myself a better life, the family I'll have a better life, and then the family I have a better life.
100%.
And so that's like, family is a big why for me. I know it is for you too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, 100%. Like, I was raised by my grandmother, and I lost my grandmother last March, and she kind of put me in a position to get my real estate license, and that's the reason why I'm doing the numbers I'm doing, is because, you know, I got her watching over me, and, you know, I wake up every day and I remember my why. You know, I don't cry, I remember my why. So, yeah.
Oh, there
just
you
gotta
go.
run.
and so with that kind of why, something that's strong, when you face rejection, it's kind of like your motivation is stronger than the rejection you face, so you don't stop.
So you create thick skin.
And that's how you have thick skin, because you have that, I don't know, there's that something inside you that keeps you
I
moving.
just don't care. Yeah, there's no fear.
Yeah.
You know, there's like no, the worst they can say is no. And
Yeah.
I think people are so scared of rejection, and I don't get it, you know, because there's 6 billion people plus in this world. If that one person doesn't like you, and the next person doesn't like you, the next chances that the next person is gonna like you could be, you know, pretty high. So just don't care, you know, just really don't care about what people think. Remember why you're doing it, and it'll get you out of whatever slump you're in, 100%.
What else motivates you?
I feel like that first big paycheck is very motivating. Huh. I feel like so. I feel like once you start getting good at something, you see the rewards and you see like how far you can take it. It's like, how can I stop?
Really honest, I'm so lasered in focus. Like, you're not even counting commission. You're just kind of like, I get a rise off of seeing how many opinion I can get at one time.
Yeah.
That's kind of like my thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I like the competition. That's cool. You know, I've always been a competitor. I'm an athlete. So, like, you know, you're going to see your name, and like, you want to put numbers. You want to be in top 5, top 3, top 2 if you can. But for me, when it comes to commission, I'm really kind of just doing it for the stats.
Yeah,
I want to see it. Like, I just kind of want to prove myself a little bit. You know, I'm new. You know, and like, you know, like, you know, telling what nobody thought about. When new agents come, you know, people are like, okay, we'll see how long you last. You know, honestly, one thing that stuck with me, Dawn, she kept saying, and honestly, I'm so happy Dawn said this, because like, if she didn't say this, I probably would have been running around with a chicken, you know, with his head cut off. Listing agents are lasting agents. So I think being able to focus on listings and go after listings and, you know, have everything just come to you has been great. And that's why going door knocking when you have buyers is great, you know, because it's easy for you to get listings. You know, I don't understand why people, they say this market's, you know, terrible right now. There's only 100 listings. You know, I can't even imagine a market with 1,200 listings on it for me. You know, I've only been in the game since November 11th. You know, so like, that's when I got my license. So it's like mixed to COVID. You know what I'm saying? You know, so like, to me, like, I haven't even seen a healthy generating market. So like, I'm ready to see how that works. You know, see how that goes.
There you go, from the trenches. That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. I think, definitely for realtors and, you know, more of a service base, I guess, or when you're really helping people, I think it definitely is a mission before the commission, how they say it. Yeah, and so that's awesome.
Bro, it's really like, you know, you got people's families and lives at stake.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, you're not, like, when you're not doing it for the commission, when it's 11 o'clock at night and they're stressing out because they don't know if their home is going to close on time, and they're contingent on another property, and if their home doesn't sell in time, they're going to lose out on that property. You know, like, that's this type of things that go through your mind, and you're like, yo, this family's life savings is on stake, this family's nerve is on stake, and you got to get the job done.
Yeah, one of the basic necessities of the life, huh? That's awesome. Well, that's, I mean, a big pressure, and I know it's awesome because there's people like you who really care and can, you know, they're the ones that you can trust on, lean on to get that job done for them.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
yeah, it's not even, you know, you got to make sure those families get those keys, and it's a domino effect, you know, nowadays in this market. And if those families don't get those keys, those families don't get those keys, and those families are not going to get those keys. So it's like, you real life got to do your job well and get it done, you know.
I think I have one question for you that I kind of thought of. I think this would be good. So I feel like, you got your license at a time where it's like difficult, you know, it's not a healthy market, like you said. Dang, that's kind of crazy how you did, you know, top buyer's agent this week, right? How you got from 0 to that in an unhealthy market. What do you think really, elevated you to that level in 6 months?
Watching others do it around me.
Watching others?
Yeah.
Awesome.
You got, Jordan Barnhill, who kind of, showed me the light in the C21. And, like, when you walk in and you have your license on day one, and, you look over at his sky slope and he has 25 pending.
Yeah.
You're kind of like, okay, you know what I'm saying? and they would, like, I think I got a taste of it very quick. Mm-hmm. I was able to close my first deal within my first 3 weeks, having my license. Okay. So, like, I think I got that, having that little taste right there kind of got me going quick, and, like, I just, yeah, that's it.
Were you super nervous on that first one?
No, it was Christian Carmen called me up for his listing, and we were cleaning it out. It was disgusting inside. I mean, literally terrible. It was been vacant for 3 years. We had to clean it out, and I was like, oh, well, welcome to real estate, So I was posting this stuff on my Facebook page, and sure enough, investor came by, and, he saw it, and, he wanted to, make an offer. So he kind of walked through it and, made us an offer, and we went back over to the seller, and, Carmen went over there, and he was working with him, and, got her to sign it around, and, we sure enough, we closed it on up. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. So the takeaway is, like, kind of finding someone who's already at that level you want to be, and then just, seeing
Be a sponge,
and,
like, learn as much as you can. If you're really going to take this serious, go to somebody who's willing to give you the time, and if somebody brushes you off the wrong way, just go to the next agent, until you find somebody who's going to work with you. Great, 100%.
When you think about it, you started your real estate career basically wearing weights. You started right at the beginning of the pandemic.
It's crazy.
I don't. Did you ever think about that?
Bro, like, it's because I'm telling you, I knew my why. I didn't care about anything else. Like, I remember my why. Like, my grandma raised me from when I was, like, literally a baby. And she gave everything to me to her dying day to kind of, like, help me be successful. And, the kind of last conversation was her. She's like, are you sure you want to do this? I was like, yeah, Grandma, I want to do real estate. It's like, okay, that's what you want to do. And, like, that was the last, like, kind of, I want to say, conversation I had with her that was kind of, real, before, things got bad. Yeah. So, like, I just owe it, I owe it to her. I got to remodel that house back in California, and I got to purchase some property over here and just kind of keep it going at 26 years old, 100%.
Mm-hmm. So, 26 years old, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
I see myself definitely, becoming, a good name around here in Tri-Cities. I do, see myself, later down the road, maybe, advancing, to a, bigger level of a, agent. So, that's why you got, a team of people around you, and, hopefully that day comes for me. But, like, I'm 6 months in. I can't really speak for, like, 5 years in. I got to see how this first year goes, and kind of go through that, and then, learn as much as I can. And, I'm blessed because honestly, being at, C21 is a life-changing, experience for, like, me. It really is. So, like, yeah, I never had life like this. So, like, it's good, and, it's happy to help families out. And, I'm meeting friends, through real estate now. I got, him right next to me. I'm helping families out, and it's like long-term relationships, with people, and people who never thought they'd be able to get a home, in years. And, honestly, working with, the best lender and, the best brokerage in town is, like, really how I'm able to be successful. And, thanks to C21, thanks to Prime Lending, and, I got to, thank all the people around me, and, yeah, just kind of push to the next level and finish off the second half of the year strong and see where I'm at in January.
Yep. I think you'll do good. I mean, just what you've done in the last 6 months. Damn, I'm excited to see your growth.
Well, maybe we'll meet back here in January and kind of talk about the rest of the year and see how it goes from there. All right?
You'll be going to Vegas?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Trust me, I'm going to get 21 listings, bro. Yeah. I don't even know where I'm at right now, but that would be a goal. I mean, I mean, to me, I thought honestly, getting listings is, kind of, it's difficult to get somebody to, to trust you to sell their house. Like, you get those people to move, but I feel like I got a recipe for it.
Yeah. I'll be sending you all my listings when we start flipping homes and stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
My go-to guy.
Exactly. That's why we're right here. Get it going. All right, guys.
Thank you for joining us on the Real Relentless Podcast. We hope you find yourself motivated enough to like us on social media and get reminders for the next episodes. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.